Welcome to the What's My Dream podcast, Tim McQuade. Tim, what's your job?
I am a mechanical engineer.
Mechanical engineer. Okay, when did you decide you wanted to be a mechanical engineer for 40 plus years of your life?
I don't know if for 4 years, but we'll see. When I was younger, I had a really big passion in automotive stuff. My dad was big into cars, and that's kind of what led me into pursuing some STEM stuff. I had this class in high school, a robotics class, and it was, we did VEX robotics, and it was like a pastime of mine, like sixth period was robotics, and it was just like the quickest block of the day. And I knew ever since I took that class junior year of high school, yep, this is what I want to do.
So what do you do in that class that was so related to mechanical engineering?
So I got to build and design my own robot. It was called the VEX Skyrise competition. And so I was building a robot that could like stack things and also move cubes around. And I just really enjoyed it. And I knew I wanted to pursue something where I could build with my hands and also something that would intellectually challenge me in design.
So it's kind of cool job to take because you build something and you feel that attachment to whatever you build or design, because at the end of the day, it's like, I did that. It's not this was given to me and then I worked with something that someone else built.
Yeah. There's a big sense of accomplishment when you are able to take a step back and look at what you've created, but also like the building process is what I really enjoy as well. Having challenges and overcoming them. There's a lot of them, in that class, fitting within a certain criteria, having a certain reach, or, in my job, like time constraints, cost constraints, material specifications. And so all that stuff is, each individual step is, a challenge and a reward at the end of it,
Okay. So you want to be a mechanical engineer. You have to go to undergrad school, typically 4 years.
4 years, yep.
Graduate with a mechanical engineering degree.
Yep.
And then you're good to go? That's the only requirement?
Yes and no. There are definitely ways to set yourself apart. Going to a good school can do that. Being in clubs can do that. So like I was really big. I thought I wanted to be in the automotive industry when I was younger. And one thing I pursued initially was the Society of Automotive Engineers, and they've got a couple different challenges they do. Doing that can really set yourself up well, coming out of college for a new or a higher entry-level position in the automotive industry. That really shows them that, I'm interested, and also I have experience working on stuff like this. There's also, from my school, I don't know about the others, but concentrations you can do. So I knew I wanted to be in design, so I had a design concentration. But if you want to be in more of like a manufacturing role or potentially like a materials role, you can specify what you want to do and take courses on that to help shift your direction in one way.
Okay. So did you have something on your resume that stood out? Like, did you build or design something in college?
Yeah.
What was it?
At WPI, or Worcester Polytechnic Institute, that's where I went. We have a thing called the MQP, the Major Qualifying Project. It's similar to a senior project. It's the capstone design project for me, and we made a it's called it's in a planar array speaker that is the inverse of what most speakers are. So most speakers are they have a solid magnet and a moving voice coil, but we have the opposite of that. We had a moving magnet and a solid coil. And the theory behind that was we could create a smaller speaker, like a subwoofer, because the moving mass of the moving mass was the magnet. and that's what would propel the cone. And since it was higher, it would have a lower resonant frequency. So we were trying to make like kind of a compact subwoofer.
Okay. So a bunch of gibberish that I don't understand, but what I hear is you're like Iron Man. So
No.
you kind of just have all these robots you build, and then the robots build robots for you.
Not exactly. No.
Okay.
The real
so
name
exactly
for that thing,
like Iron Man.
yeah, the real name for that was called a moving magnet transducer. So
Yeah. Is that like that sounds like the third suit that he built, you know?
that's what they modeled it after.
Okay, got it.
Yeah.
So you're a mechanical engineer, you build suits and robots.
Mm-hmm.
And then you can fly and blow bad guys up with that.
And then that's how I knew I wanted to be in the defense industry. Yeah.
If you watched Iron Man 1 and liked it, then study mechanical engineering.
Yeah, and if you didn't take any of the lessons that they tried to learn, just go for it. Yeah.
Perfect.
Yep.
You don't have to worry about safety. You just got to make sure it's cool.
Exactly. Yep. Yeah.
Nice. That sounds kind of fun. Maybe I will one day befriend you so you don't blow me up. So, you graduate with your mechanical engineering degree. What are entry-level salary expectations for
I
mechanical
was hoping
engineering?
for like 70K.
70K, give or take.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously location makes it vary.
Mm-hmm.
And are hours pretty standard, or is there kind of unusual hours with that role?
I want to say that they're for mechanical design. I'd say the majority of them are 40 hours a week, 9 to 5, right?
Monday to Friday.
Yep, Monday through Friday. There are some different positions that you could pursue. If you're maybe in more of a production environment, they might have second shift or potentially third shift, and they usually give you a little benefit with those. But I wanted to work a 9 to 5, so that's what I went after.
Got it. So then, now I'm a mechanical engineer working 40 hours a week. What am I actually doing with that work time? So what is your actual life like day in, day out,
So I'm in research and development, and so what we try to do is build one of what we're trying to accomplish, like 90% of the time. And that's all based on where we are within the program. So the start of it is like a ton of design. So we're like, okay, we probably have something that we're going to be basing it off of. We're scoping it out. We're trying to figure it out. So there's a lot of collaboration within the engineers, be it mechanical, electrical, process. There's a lot of like work in Creo that we do, and we send it back and forth and make sure everything checks out. Then it goes to analysis, and then it probably gets kicked back to be tweaked. That's the whole initial design. And once you get from there, we're going to be needing to actually build what we want to make. So we have to design the tools that will help us build them. And so then you have more of just mechanical design focus. These things aren't going to go through analysis. They're not going to have like weight specifications or material specifications. They're just going to be, will this accomplish what we're trying to build? Yes or no? You hope it's a yes, and then you order them. So that's design phase, tooling phase, I'd say. And then you go into the fab space. And the fab space is like kind of up and down, because this is where you actually find out, is my design going to work? Because you're putting it all together. So
fabs is fabrication?
Fabrication, yeah, fabrication.
So physically building what you just designed.
Exactly, yes. So
Okay. So a lot of the time you base it off something already in the market. So if you are in research and design, it's like, what's working? How do we take that design and almost pivot where it could be improved? But you're not like always starting from scratch, like here's a blank piece of paper.
No, I would say you're very rarely starting from scratch. There's a lot of smart people out there. There's been a lot of smart people for a long time. You might be adding a new component to what you're doing, but I don't think you'd really be starting completely from scratch, at least in my, where I work in
your realm
department
of research and development.
Yep.
Makes sense. And then once you've designed it, usually through some sort of software like CAD, for example.
Totally. Yep.
Computer aided design, right?
Yeah.
Nice. Good guess. and then I'll physically build the thing, and then what happens? Our team sells it for a crap ton of money.
No, you need to evaluate it. So
Okay, so there's another stage.
So there's testing and analysis and evaluation, and that's the end of it. So our programs are set up that we make one of them, and then our customer will evaluate if that's what they wanted or not. And if they like it, they'll continue it on, and it'll go to another stage. Usually, we call it EMD, engineering development, and then so we're in research and development, then it goes to engineering development. But sometimes if they really like it, that phase will go away. It'll go right to production.
Okay. And then if it's hopefully evaluated well, you get an A+ on your test score, and then you go on to designing the next one.
Yeah, there could be awards and bonuses associated with, producing something really well. But yeah, usually it's just...
and then you take a huge cut of how much it sells for?
No, not in my industry.
No, you just get your $70K and go home at 5 o'clock.
Yeah.
Slam a few beers.
Big pat on the back.
Nice little fist bump from the boss.
Yeah.
Love it. Okay, so that's what you're spending your time doing. In your opinion, why is this career the best career? What are the perks, the pros of being a mechanical engineer versus any of the thousands of other job paths you could have taken?
Well, so it's super personalized. Like, I really enjoy going through all of the design phases and building stuff. So, like, this is what stimulates me. Like, I do it in, my own time as a hobby. It's not, in the defense sector. I'm not making bombs or anything, right? But I'm working on cars, and I'm enjoying doing that fabrication. So what makes it the best? I'm stimulated. When I'm at work, I am happy to be what I'm doing, and I'm very fortunate to say that. I know a lot of people are not in that position.
And that's why we're here.
Exactly.
Find out what stimulates each of us for the rest of our lives. If we're going to be doing something for like 40 years, a lot of people just kind of pick a degree or don't go to college at the time. They're like, I have no clue what I want to do. Mm-hmm. You got lucky, or you just kind of knew. But the rest of us trying to figure that out.
Yeah.
So for some people, they might hear this and be like, damn, I definitely want to be this. And other people are going to be like, snooze, alarm, skip episode.
Well, I mean, that's very fair.
And it is what it is. We're all different. Otherwise, the world would not go in a circle.
Yeah.
And we would live on Mars with my cousin Cheryl.
Oh, yeah. Nice lady.
She's been up there for like 3 years.
Yeah. You write to her?
Yeah, we FaceTime.
Oh, that's good.
It's like a 12-hour lag between everything we say.
Oh, that's be a little tough.
Yeah, it's pretty awkward. Okay, then you're stimulated, you work hands-on, make a decent salary, you just need undergrad and you can start working right away. Then on the flip side, what are the cons, the negatives? Everyone's like, oh, I love my job, you should definitely go into mechanical engineering. But what should they be aware of before they commit to that path?
Yeah.
What are the most annoying parts of your job or your lifestyle that your career maybe has limited in any way?
So, I can't think of anything that's really, like, frustrating me at the moment. I'm going to be honest.
The dream job.
Well, I mean, I was, like I said, very fortunate. I knew what I wanted to do. It's not a position for better or for worse, for good or for bad, that you can do remotely. So, like, I would love to see more of the world, but, like, to have the ability to make things and build hardware, you have to be in a place that you can actually assemble it and understand what's going on. So, like, if you're going to be someone who wants to be able to do your job wherever you want, some types of mechanical engineering can do that, right? Like, you could be completely remote. Maybe you're just doing design and someone else is going to fabricate it. But that's not what I want to do. So, like, that could be a potential drawback. I mean, it's corporate America. There's a lot of stuff that goes with that. So anything from any other position in corporate America, same goes there.
So just somewhat limited flexibility in whether it be you physically there or, having whatever hours you want, or the freedom of being essentially your own boss, or opening your own clinic, for an example. You don't have as many of those freedoms.
No.
But
if you want to be an entrepreneur, I think you can definitely make that happen being a mechanical engineer. But working in like the defense sector, they're already so well defined as who the big players are. It's really, really challenging to do a startup, I would think.
Okay. So is this more so for the extrovert or the introvert? Because you have to be in person, so you're around people.
Yeah.
But you're not exactly in meetings all the time, right? You're just working hands-on, spending your time with the product.
Yeah, I'd say there's a good amount of collaboration. I think an introvert could totally do it, and I think an extrovert could do it as well.
Okay. So it has that middle ground. You work with people, but you're not stuck in meetings all day either.
No, and you don't have to like engage with a customer and put a smile on all day. Like you're working with another engineer who knows your struggle, so you're not trying to like sell anything. So
makes sense. And then, is there anything you would do differently? You have the exact breadth of knowledge that you do now, and you're 5 years younger. Is there anything you do differently to make yourself in a better position now, or, career-wise happier now?
I don't think
so. Or better prepared? No?
No.
So you would advise, go to college, do as many ways to get involved, whether it's extracurriculars, clubs, just building stuff on your free time, figure out if you actually like doing that, go in a garage and build something.
Yeah.
If you're annoyed or get bored of it right away, maybe not mechanical engineering.
Yeah, I would say definitely try to identify if you want to do like mechanical engineering like as early as you can, because there's so much money to be made in other industries, and you don't need to go to college to have a good living, have a good work-life balance. So if you want to be like super hands-on, you could totally do a trade, but I wanted to be able to do some like design aspects too. So
okay.
Yeah.
So you can just master in a trade and do hands-on, but if you also want to be a little more involved in what you're building, actually designing it first, then mechanical engineering has that ability that's required.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's kind of just your final advice. Kind of the earlier you can figure out if it's for you, do that. And the best way to figure out if mechanical engineering is for you is just, you think, building, whether it's Legos, starting with Legos.
Yeah, I mean...
Where do you start? What's your best advice if I'm on the line? I'm like, mechanical engineering sounds nice. I don't know if I'm going to like it. I'm only like 16.
Yeah.
Or maybe I'm 30, but I've just never thought of it. I was in med school or something.
Yeah, totally. So I would say whatever kind of like things you think are cool, explore those, because at one point in time it had to be designed, and there's an engineer associated with that. So, if it's Legos, those are designed, right? It's not a very complex design. I mean, but like
they're getting real interesting.
They're pretty intricate. So they definitely still have engineers for them. So if that like toys are your thing, there's a whole segment of toy engineers. But
I don't play with toys. I play with Legos.
Legos are toys, yeah.
They're very...
What are they, like 4+?
Difficult design. I'm an adult, okay?
I'm not saying
just because I play with Legos.
I'm just saying they're a toy.
Yeah. So it's an adult toy that's very tough design.
That sounds way weird.
Very masterful engineers built Legos.
Sure, yeah.
So you have to be very educated to play with them.
No. They have instructions.
And you have to be very good at design to build what you're trying to build from your Lego set.
Sure. We'll go with that.
Okay. Thank you. And outside of that, if I am that person who's still on the line, I took your advice, but I maybe have another question or two. Am I able to reach out to you in any way? Are you available through LinkedIn or any other measure?
Yeah, I'm on LinkedIn. Yeah.
What's that at?
Is there an at?
I don't actually know.
I'm Tim McQuade. I think you just search and look me up that way. QUADE. Yeah.
ADE.
Yep.
Search him up. It should say engineer, unless by the time you search him, something has tragically gone wrong in his career, and it will say Lego player.
No, not gonna happen.
Come on, we could both do it together.
There's a lot of money to be had.
There's a lot of Legos in the room that we're currently podcasting in.
You can't see it, but there's thousands.
But they can see you. They're real. Thanks for coming on the podcast. I think you answered some good questions, and that's about it.
Well, thank you for having me.
Get out of here, sport.
All right.